For today's project, we're going to make a walkout basement. So open a new file and then select the terrain tools, which is the green button. We're going to go up to the word terrain, create terrain perimeter, and this is now the land around the house. Go ahead and double click on that and uncheck auto calculate elevation. We just want the pad elevation set to 0. That gives us a reference point, an easy reference point for the heights and elevation of our floors. Then click OK, and you can zoom out if you want, and we're going to put in some terrain lines. I'm going to click a wide area to deselect, go to the elevation tools, and you can draw more if you want to be more precise. Later on you can always add some, but I'm going to add 4 elevation items. So our first floor is going to be at ground level, which is 0. So our basement, we're going to make a walkout basement. We're going to have downhill a bit. So I'm going to make this maybe -120, and that's in inches. And I'll make this one -120. And the reason I put 2 is so that it's flat outside our back door. We don't want a ski slope out the back door, nor do we want it sloping back in. We don't, otherwise that would have rainwater flowing into the basement. Once that's in place, go to the full overview, and you'll notice there's a nice slope for the house. And if you wanted this to be smoother, you could set other elevation points there to make it consistent all the way across. When we go back, we notice some auto-generated elevation points are in. So from here, we're going to draw our walls. With my walls built on the first floor, I'm going to do the overview again. Take a look, and there we have room for a nice walkout basement. If your elevations don't match up, or something is partially buried, what you can do is draw an elevation line, if you need to, right across one of these walls where you're going to have the door. So if I need to fine-tune it, I would put an elevation line right outside that door and another right about there. And then you could double-click and set those as necessary. But now we need to add a basement. So we're going to go to the floor tool, build a foundation, click OK unless you want to change something, make it the same shape and size as the first floor, and click OK. I'm going to double click on this to open up the room. Now notice this, the floor above is at 0. We have room for like a drop ceiling of about 1 foot. That gives us room to run electrical, plumbing, anything you need, air conditioning vents, heating vents. And then our floor is 46 inches below. So it defaults to a crawl space that's about 3 feet high. So we're going to make this maybe, well, let's put it exactly what our elevation is. So -120. Click OK. I'm going to go to the overview. And that was goofed up. So I think it was those extra lines I put in. So that should be 0. That one needs to be -120. I guess if you put them in, they default to 0. -120. -120. And hopefully this one's 0. And I'll double check this one. All right, let's check again. That I can live with. So let's throw in some doors. Then if you zoom in, you can have an idea if your elevations work. Because the door is not buried underground there. And the same here. So that's a start.